Good morning. I'm excited to introduce our online teachers evaluation system, designed to help your institution streamline faculty assessments effortlessly. This digital platform allows students to provide structured feedback on instructors in a secure and user-friendly way, with features like automated survey distribution, real-time analytics, and customizable evaluation criteria. Your school can gain valuable insights while maintaining confidentiality. Administrators can generate detailed reports to assess performance and support faculty development. This system not only simplifies the evaluation process, but also promotes transparency and excellence in teaching. Let's work together to enhance your institution's academic standards with an efficient, data-driven approach. To begin the demonstration, the administrator must first create questions for the teacher's evaluation. This can be done by navigating to Transaction, then Teacher Evaluation, and finally Question. Once this menu is selected, the system will display the question panel. To add a new question, the administrator must click the Add button. This will enable the input fields needed for question creation. Next, the administrator can fill in the required entries, starting with the category, for example, Undertakings 25%. In the Type drop-down menu, the user must select Category to properly classify the question. It's important to note that all entries are fully user-defined, allowing flexibility to customize the evaluation criteria based on institutional preferences and standards. Now let's try to input a question for the undertaking. On the right side of the screen, an example question is displayed, while the left side is used for inputting the question into the system. The administrator must first enter their preferred code, such as U1, which is entirely user-defined. Then, in the question field on the left, they will input Demonstrate sensitivity to students' ability to attend and absorb content information. Next, they will select College from the Level drop-down to specify the applicable education level. After that, they must choose Custom as the type, since the evaluation choices will be uniquely defined, including 1 for Excellent with a score of 5, 2 for Very Satisfactory with a score of 4, 3 for Satisfactory with a score of 3, 4 for Unsatisfactory or Poor with a score of 2, and 5 for Never with a score of 1. Once all fields are populated, the administrator can save the entry, ensuring that the question is now part of the evaluation system. Now let's proceed with the next set of questions, following the same process as before, starting with entering the preferred code based on my naming convention, then inputting the question displayed on the right side into the designated field on the left, selecting College from the Level drop-down, choosing Custom as the type, and defining the rating options as follows: 1 for Excellent with a score of 5, 2 for Very Satisfactory with a score of 4, 3 for Satisfactory with a score of 3, 4 for Unsatisfactory or Poor with a score of 2, and 5 for Never with a score of 1, after which I will save the entry to ensure the question is added to the system, before moving on to the next question and repeating the same steps until all questions are successfully inputted. Now, I am proceeding with inputting each question one by one, carefully following the same steps, starting with the code, then entering the question exactly as displayed on the right, selecting College as the level, choosing Custom as the type, and defining the rating options accordingly, ensuring that each entry is correctly filled in before saving and moving on to the next question until all are successfully added to the system. Now that all questions have been successfully entered into the system, I will do a final review to ensure accuracy, checking each question, its corresponding code, level, type, and rating options to confirm that everything is correctly set up before proceeding to the next step in the teacher evaluation process. Now that we have successfully inputted all categories into the system, the next step is to organize each question using the Development menu. To do this, navigate to Transaction, then Teacher Evaluation, and select Development. Upon clicking this menu, the system will display its panel, where the user must click the Add button to enable it. At this stage, the user must create the name for the teacher evaluation. For example, in the code field, I will input 2025T, and in the name field, I will enter teacher evaluation for school year 2025. Next, in the level drop-down, the user must select college. If the teacher evaluation applies to the entire school regardless of course, the course field should be left blank. However, if the evaluation is intended for a specific course, the user must input the corresponding course name in this field. Once all required fields are populated correctly, we can proceed to the next step in setting up the evaluation. Now, to set up the evaluation, the user must select the Details button. Upon doing so, the system will display its panel, where we will begin populating the necessary fields. First, in the number field, I will input 1, as this represents the initial category, which is undertaking. Next, in the rate field, I will set it to 25%, but this value can be adjusted based on the user's preference. After setting the rate, I will proceed to search for the category, selecting undertaking from the available options. Once all fields are properly populated, I will then click the Save button to finalize the entry. With this step completed, we are now ready to continue organizing the remaining categories and structuring the evaluation accordingly. Now that the category has been successfully set up, I will proceed with inputting the questions. Since the category was assigned the number 1, it serves as the parent category. To add a question under this category, I will input 1.1 in the number field, indicating that this question belongs to the undertaking category. The rate field will be left blank, as the assigned percentage applies only to the category level. Next, I will search for and select the appropriate question from the available list. Once the question is selected, I will proceed by clicking the Save button to finalize the entry. I will repeat this process for each remaining question, following the same numbering format. 1.2, 1.3, etc., until all questions are properly assigned under their respective categories. With all questions successfully organized, we ensure that the evaluation structure is correctly set up for accurate and efficient assessment. Now here is the final output of the teacher's evaluation under undertaking. If I want to add another category besides undertaking, I will repeat the same process, but this time I will adjust the numbering accordingly to reflect the new category. For example, since undertaking was assigned 1, the next category will be numbered 2. I will navigate to the Details button again, input 2 in the number field, set the rate, e.g. 25% or any preferred percentage, and then search and select the new category from the available options. Once everything is set, I will click the Save button to finalize the entry. After adding the category, I will proceed with assigning questions to it by following the same process as before. I will use 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 and so on under this new category while leaving the rate blank for each question. I will continue this process for any additional categories, ensuring that each one is properly structured within the evaluation system. To schedule the teacher evaluation so students can answer it via the SIAS portal, we first need to navigate to the Transaction menu, then go to Teacher Evaluation, and select Schedule. Once we are in the Scheduling panel, we will begin filling out the necessary fields. Please note that the data I am inputting are just examples, and you can adjust them based on your institution's actual requirements. First, we need to set the level by selecting College from the drop-down menu. Next, for the course field, we can leave it blank if the evaluation applies to all courses, but if we want it to be specific to a particular course, we can input the course name here. Moving on, we have the period field where we will input 042, which in this example corresponds to the second semester of 2004-2005. After that, we need to select the evaluation type, so we will choose T or Teacher's Evaluation from the available options. Now we need to set the required percentage of responses. In this example, we will set it to 100%, meaning that all students must complete the evaluation, but this value can be adjusted depending on the requirement. Once that is done, we will set the start date to August 4, 2022, and the end date to August 31, 2030, to define the period during which students can complete the evaluation. After making sure that all fields are properly filled in, the last step is to click the Save button to finalize the schedule. This ensures that students can now access and answer the evaluation through the SIAS portal. Now that we have successfully created the teacher evaluation, let's check how it appears on the student side. To do this, we will log in to the SIAS portal using a student account. Once logged in, the student will navigate to the teacher evaluation section, where they should see the scheduled evaluation available for completion. The student will see the list of instructors they need to evaluate, along with the corresponding questions categorized under the sections we previously set up. They will then select a teacher and begin answering the evaluation by choosing from the predefined rating options, such as excellent, very satisfactory, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or poor, and never. Unlike traditional forms that require a submit button, the system automatically saves each response as soon as the student selects an answer. This ensures a seamless and efficient evaluation process without the need for additional steps. With this process, we have now verified that the teacher evaluation is properly set up and accessible from the student's side, ensuring a smooth and hassle-free evaluation experience. With that, we have successfully completed the entire process of setting up the teacher evaluation, from inputting questions and organizing categories to scheduling the evaluation and verifying its accessibility on the student's side. By following these steps, we ensure that the evaluation runs smoothly, allowing students to provide valuable feedback while keeping the process efficient and user-friendly. If you have any further questions or need additional adjustments, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we can now consider this setup complete and ready for use. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your attention to detail throughout the process.